to another video. I am Nicole, in case you didn't know. Oh, introductions are so awkward. Like, starting the video is sometimes the hardest part. Anyways, in today's video, we are going to be talking about all of my top tips and tricks to getting started on Poshmark. Poshmark is something that I started doing the beginning of this year, January 2020, and I absolutely love it. It is amazing to me that you can take clothes starting right from your closet and make money on them with things that you are personally done wearing or just don't fit or not your style anymore, and you can use that money and turn around and buy things that you do love or reinvest to grow your Poshmark business bigger and bigger. And since I've started talking to more people about it, I've been receiving a lot of questions as to my top tips and tricks, how to get started, and so I thought I would just make this video so I can direct everybody to it and stop saying the same thing over and over on all the Instagram DMs and for friends and family too. Now, before we start, just a word of caution. I am gonna be throwing a lot of information at you, but it does not have to be a big, complicated thing. If you wanna just do it as like a casual thing, I believe that Poshmark will work for you with as much work that you wanna put into it. So if you want to just like throw up whatever you're not wearing in your closet and make like some casual sales, you can do that. If you wanna turn it into a side hustle or a full-time gig, those are options too. I just personally have two speeds in which I do everything in my life, and those speeds are obsessively or not at all. So with that said, grab yourself a snack and let's get obsessive. The best way to really get started on Poshmark is to take a good hard look at your closet and see what you are not wearing anymore, what you haven't worn in a long time, pulling all that stuff out, checking for stains, flaws, getting all the wrinkles out, getting it nice, fresh, and clean, and using that to get your closet started, because those items don't cost you any money anymore. I mean, you already spent money on them. So there's really very little risk there if they don't sell. What's the worst that can happen? Many of my businesses, I've started with what I call the snowball effect. I will start them in a way that requires either zero or very little investment from me, and then make money and put that money back into the business and make sure I'm never spending more than I'm making, and grow that snowball bigger and bigger. And that's exactly what I did with Poshmark. I went through my own closet, just as I'm recommending to you, saw what I wasn't wearing and listed those things. And once I started to make sales, then I went out and started sourcing to continue to make that money and grow my closet. I'm not gonna talk about sourcing today because I think that can be an entirely different video, but if that's something you want, leave me a comment below and I can definitely make that one for you. Once you've pulled everything from your closet and it's all ready to go and be photographed, the biggest recommendation I have is make sure your pictures shine. If you are selling something online, this is key. No one is going to look twice at something that has bad lighting or it's just wrinkly or just generally doesn't look good. I have a couple different ways that I go about this. When I first started, I was using poster boards and just laying them on the ground and folding the clothes nice and taking pictures. I really like the poster boards that are double-sided. That way, if you have items that are entirely white, you can use the gray side to kind of make that pop a little bit more, so you don't have like a white item on a white background. It's not gonna look very good or stand out. It's just gonna be difficult. But doing that over and over started to kind of hurt my back and my knees. I was always hunched over trying to take the photos and like adjusting stuff. Then the next thing I did was went out and bought one of those command hooks that stick on the wall. I bought one that looks a little bit nicer than just like the basic plastic ones, so my photos still look nice. And I just attached it to a wall that is by the south facing window of my house. I do take all of my photos in natural daylight because that is my favorite. But if you don't have a good picture taking spot by a south facing window, I do know there are a lot of people on Poshmark who use light kits or ring lights, and I'll attach some of those links down below for you to look at. And after I take photos in natural lighting, I still do like to jazz them up a little bit. I like my white in background to be really vibrant. I like my colors to be vibrant, but still correct and true to color, very important. And then when you're taking photos, make sure you are using the square format on your phone, because that's what Poshmark Poshmark likes best. Get the whole item, get some detail shots, get the back, and then I personally like to take a picture of the tag where the size is and the fiber content too. I personally love to know fiber contents before I buy something, and it can also protect you as a buyer if you ever get anyone who's shady and saying like, oh, you sent the wrong size or whatever, then you have proof that like, no, this is a medium, like you can see the picture here. I haven't personally had that happen at all, but it's just good to be proactive sometimes, or all the time, depending on who you are as a person. After I've taken all those photos, I will go on my phone and just type in a few keywords about my item, and I will look for a stock photo. Now, stock photos can be a little, some people say like don't use them, some people say it's fine. I personally use them. As far as I can see, 90% of people on Poshmark do use them, so until someone comes up to me and says, stop that, I'm gonna keep doing it. I feel like it is the best way to make sales. I feel like it brings the most people to your closet, and I feel like if people are doing a Google search, Poshmark links will pop up in their Google search, which will bring people who aren't even on Poshmark buying things from your closet. All right, so now you've got all your photos and you're ready to upload your listing. I'm writing a title for the description of my item. I like to both include a few keywords, but also I like to match it pretty closely to what the original brand has called it, because I do believe if someone is doing a search, that's the kind of thing that they're going to be searching for. And in the description box, that's where I'm going to focus my keywords that describe the item the most. I also put the sizing, measurements, since sizing really means nothing, and the condition that it's in, all in that box for people to find. Remember that the more information you put in that box, the quicker you're going to make sales, because people will feel more confident and they won't feel the need to ask you any questions. A lot of people probably won't even bother to ask questions, so they'll just look at it. It doesn't give them what they need, they move on. We're all easily distracted by our phones in this day and age, so give them everything they need right away the first time. So now that you've got that all filled out, the next thing you're going to need to do is figure out how much you want to ask for your item and what to price it. And for that, the first thing I do is what's called looking up comps. You're gonna wanna do a search on Poshmark itself and look up and see if anyone else has your item for sale and if anyone else has sold your item in the past. Make sure you take off the bar that just searches directly in your size and hit all sizes. And then I also like to go over to the availability and hit all availability. This will show me people's current asking prices and what it's actually sold for. And then I usually base my own number somewhere between those. The reason why I do this is because I found on Poshmark that people love to feel like they're getting a deal. It's kind of like a trick of a mind. So you want to price your items a little bit higher than what you're actually hoping to get for it. Here's why. The biggest way to make sales on Poshmark is a combination of these two things. One, sharing your closet, and two, sending offers to likers. Sharing your closet is probably one of the least liked things from Poshmark people, but also one of the most important things. What it does is it pushes you to the top of search results for your item. So it makes you have the biggest success rate of being seen, because there's a ton of people on Poshmark. There's a lot of competition. So if you can get your item to be one of the first things that people see when they search, the biggest chance of selling your item. If you just list your item and then never do anything with it again, it's gonna get buried. Unfortunately, the only way to do this is individually. You have to go through each item in your closet and hit share, share, share. So if you have a lot of items in your closet, it takes some time. I like to do mine at least 2 times a day, sometimes 3, and I try to do it when I'm already having downtime anyway. So I like to do it in the morning when I wake up and I'm just sitting there drinking my coffee, waking my brain up for the day. And if I remember or have time, I'll do it when I'm eating lunch, and then I'll do it 1/3 time. Generally in the evenings, I will have some downtime where I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. I'll do it then too. What you'll typically find from sharing your closets is you'll then begin to collect a lot of people who like your item. Notifications are so much more important than all the random followers you're going to gain. You're gonna get so many followers on Poshmark, but most of them you'll find are also resellers, which is not to say they are not buyers, because people do buy and sell on Poshmark. The likers are the people that are actually interested in possibly buying your item if the price is right. Because in general, I would say full price sales on Poshmark is probably only about 10 to 15% of my sales. Most sales sales do come from negotiations. So my personal strategy is I will do my 3 shares a day, and then after I do my evening share, I'll go over to the likes section on the app and I'll see all my likes from the day, and then I will send out offers to all those people to see if I can, what I call, catch any fish. This is why I think it's really important to price a little bit higher than what you're actually hoping to sell your item for, because sending offers to likers gets the people's attention. It makes them feel excited that they're getting a deal, and it's better than just sitting it at the price that you want. You get the like and then nothing happens, because again, most people are looking for a deal on Poshmark. I think it's really important to remember that it is like a haggling negotiation app, so you are gonna have people that come offer you really low offers, or maybe they'll counter you something really low. Don't get offended by it. Just decide what you want to sell your item on and move on. Don't feel like you have to accept the lowball offer. There's so many people on Poshmark every single day, and if you're consistent with your sharing, it's okay to hold out a little bit for like the right price. Also, don't get too stuck up on a certain number. If somebody offers you something that's a little bit lower than you want to take, sometimes it's better just to sell that item so you can use that money towards your next item. Just move on knowing that you've made some money on it and it's no longer sitting in your closet collecting dust. And lastly, let's say that you've got your whole closet all set up, you're ready to make your first sale, you're sharing away, you're sending those offers, and it's crickets. I was definitely there. When I first started, I always tell myself, okay, don't get like super excited and think it's gonna be like a huge overnight success. And then by day 2, I'm sitting around like, why hasn't my entire closet sold already? And if you're feeling like that and you really, really wanna get those items sold, you can also do something called cross-listing. Cross-listing just means taking advantage of any or all of the other selling platforms out there. My first sale on a clothing item actually came from the app called Mercari rather than Poshmark. And now I do Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. Of the 3 apps, Poshmark is still the one that generates me the most sales on clothing. I do love having all 3. I'll tell you, there's no better feeling than when you get a super lowball offer on Poshmark and you're like, oh, is my item really worth so little? And then someone comes and scoops it up for full price over on Mercari. All right, I think we've covered everything. If we didn't and you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I will answer you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful for you and you are all ready to get started on your reselling adventure. Something that I've really come to love, and so I love sharing it with others because I know we all have stuff in our closet that is getting neglected and you could be making money on that, so why not? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can stay updated for every time that I upload a new one, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!